people are writing pickleball movies, and I see that they've been like made, and it's so frustrating because I just wrote one called Pickle, but
Great
it's
name.
like thank you, right? Thank
Great
you,
name.
but it's not ready, and others are like in the works.
I can spin up. Someone can give me 3 unrelated things, and I
Yeah.
could spin up a Christmas movie so fast.
Everything can be a Christmas movie.
Last year, I believe, it might have been last year or 2 years ago, there was a, I think it was Hallmark, or Lifetime, released a Hanukkah movie, which I did not watch.
Yep.
I think it was called like Hanukkah on Rye or something like that. It had Lisa Loeb.
Okay, it definitely was not on Rye.
I think it was like something like that. It was like something like ridiculous. You know, like pastrami Hanukkah. I don't know what it was called. But like Lisa Loeb was in it. And I was like, wait a minute, Lisa Loeb of like late 90s fame?
Yep.
Lisa Loeb?
Yep.
You say, and they were like, yeah, she's the mom. I was like, I'm not going to watch it, but it's intriguing.
I feel like there aren't enough Hanukkah movies, and I feel like if you write it, it would get made.
What if you wrote a pickleball movie where it culminates at Christmas and Hanukkah?
You think that there isn't? I know of one that's in the works.
A Christmas pickleball movie?
Pickleball movie.
What have we come to?
And I'm so envious. I want to turn everything I've ever written into Christmas. Oh my God. I actually just realized I wrote a script and then someone said, can you make it Christmas? And then I completely developed it to be a Christmas movie.
Yeah. And it didn't go.
It's still, and I had one person attached to it and then it didn't go. It didn't go.
You want to know why it didn't go? Because I spoke to the person who was attached, and they said it didn't go because not enough pickleball. That's what they said. That is what they. I didn't
throw a pickleball in there.
It's not my note. That was their note.
Right.
By the way, before we keep going, we should introduce the tea. So our listeners sleep with us at home. For those that are listening at home, today we are drinking Rishi's Peach Blossom. It is a white tea. I've got my Nightmare Before Christmas mug. If you're not watching, but you should be. And we brewed this at 185 for 6 minutes. So
okay, I'm gonna try it.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's delicious.
I love that.
Wait, that's really good.
And for those, again, who are listening and not viewing, so I am using a mug that changes colors with hot liquid. You're missing out if you're not watching this. It's a treat.
One of my pet peeves is in movies. You know how people eat food and drink?
But not really?
It drives me insane.
They push the food around?
I can't watch it now. I've never seen a single Meryl Streep. Wait, that's a little controversial. I'm sure she does great, actually. I'm sure
food acting.
But like, if you see, they just push the food around, and the continuity is like very off. Like sometimes it's like the tomatoes here, and then it's there, and then it's like.
I love that it's a tomato that does it for you.
Whenever someone is eating, they don't do a good job.
So there is a movie, and I cannot stress enough. The title sounds like a scary movie. It is not a scary movie at all. It is actually a really sad movie. But there's a movie called A Ghost Story. There is a scene.
Okay.
Do you know the actress Rooney Mara?
Yes.
Okay. There's a scene. No cuts.
Okay.
At all.
Uh-huh.
She eats 3/4 of a pie. And I'm watching, and I'm waiting for the cutaway. I'm like, there's no way. She's legit eating a pie.
Oh my God.
No cutaway. No spit bucket.
Does she look sick eating it?
No. It's played for emotion. Like, you feel horrible for her as you watch this because, like, you feel her pain.
And is she crying?
Kind of.
She's probably crying so hard because she's so full. And she had to do the take so many times. And it's just like, I can't do it anymore. Like,
I don't think you could do that more than like 2 times.
You should Google how many takes they did of that scene.
I want to know. I'm not gonna look it up now because I'm here with you.
They probably only did 2, and she probably is crying because she's so full.
She definitely ate the pie.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I was once, I was in a pilot and I had to eat a sandwich. Okay. And they were like, hey, we can cut away. We really want to have a long shot of you. And they were like, we have a spit bucket. And I said to them, I was starving. I hadn't eaten that day.
Great.
And I was like, I don't need it. I'm very hungry. And they're like, okay, we're probably not going to do this more than 3 times. But like, if you eat, and we're going to do this really long shot, you're not going to be able to spit. Are you sure? And I was like, I'm fine. We did that scene like 8 times, and I was so sick.
Oh, my God.
Because I had to eat a sandwich. I ate like 8 sandwiches.
What kind of bread?
I don't know. It was terrible.
Was it like a roll, or was it like thin, like Wonder Bread?
It wasn't Wonder Bread. It was like a seeded loaf.
Oh no! Wait, that sounds terrible.
It was not good.
A seeded loaf.
It was like a multi-grain.
Like a sesame. Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah, it was not great.
That's heavy.
I'll tell you this: felt bad for at least 48 hours afterwards.
I'm sure 8 takes.
Something like that.
And they didn't
well,
say
because
like,
it was
"Hey,
like
we're so sorry."
It was like a minute. Oh, they apologized
Every time.
Yeah.
But then they're like, "We need you to
I'm
do
sorry,
it again."
You know what? The lighting changed. I'm like, did it? I'm like, move it up. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, we're trying to get some of the natural light. I'm like, I don't want natural light.
Why were you having to eat the sandwich?
The pilot was very weird. It was about a guy who he is down on his luck living on his friend's couch, and his friend, he's like, I'm going to go buy a lotto ticket, and his friend gives him money. He goes, just buy us both a lotto ticket. Buys both lotto tickets, ends up winning the lottery, and now is trying to keep it a secret because, blah, 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 whatever. And I played that guy in like one of the down moments of the pilot, watching all his friends like leave while he's just sitting there eating a sandwich by himself.
Oh, interesting.
And they stayed on me, and I was just like, ugh, me just eating this sandwich. It was rough.
That's a great concept, though. But that reminds me of that Nick Cage movie.
Which one?
The one about the waitress, and I'm totally going to get the name wrong, so you just like have to Google this
Not
after.
No.
It's
No.
like, is it called It Had to Be You? I don't know. Nick Cage, and he gets a lotto ticket, and then he goes to some diner, and this waitress, he says, I'll split it with you. And he falls in love with the waitress at the end. You know what movie I really love?
Hit me.
Home for the Holidays. Have you ever seen Home for the Holidays with Robert Downey Jr. And he like comes home for the holidays with Holly Hunter.
I'm surprised. So Home for the Holidays, he in fact, and I really want to make sure I'm getting to the heart of this.
You know when
he comes home for the holidays.
Someone who hasn't seen a movie before and you're envious that they haven't seen that movie.
Oh, sure.
It's the only Thanksgiving movie. I've never.
It's a Thanksgiving movie.
Are there any Thanksgiving movies that you can think of?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Interesting.
Love that movie.
Any other Thanksgiving movies? No, right?
Addams Family Values.
Yeah, but is
there's a big Thanksgiving scene in there.
I feel like we're tapping into a market. Like, I should write a Thanksgiving movie.
Wait a minute. There's got to be another Thanksgiving movie.
There aren't many.
Though I'm telling you, so we get a lot of messages from listeners.
Yeah.
And I'm very concerned that we've hit on a spot where this is going to be the new message we get.
Oh my God, please. Because I want to watch Thanksgiving movies. Because my Thanksgivings last 45 minutes. That's it. Like,
do you not like Thanksgiving?
No, I love it. I host it. Like my family comes over, but my family, like, we only do things for like 45 minutes.
Is it because y'all don't get along?
No, we love each other.
Oh, you love each other.
We're like so chill to the point where it's just like, sometimes there's silences. Like sometimes we're like in the sense of like, okay, I think we're done here. Like we just don't, there's not any kind of like fighting. I have 2 older brothers. I love them. I respect them, vice versa. Like
also entertainment or no?
Also, yeah. Yeah,
in
they are both.
yeah.
One's a clearance producer and the other one's a show producer for reality TV. And
you
like,
might know a friend of mine. Interesting.
Yeah.
So Jess's family,
Uh-huh.
I will never understand this. Never understand this. They'll be like on the phone and then there'll just be like a silence that lasts for like 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
No, that's my family.
I don't do that.
It's like, oh,
no.
okay.
Are you Jewish? You're not.
No.
No.
I converted.
Wait, to what? To Judaism?
To Judaism. That's how we met.
I'm vaguely no. Well, listen. We met in comedy, but we did talk about that. I think.
Right. We met at the Hollywood Comedy, and I told you I had converted to Judaism, and you were like, "Oh, what was that like?" And I was like, "And then Nobody Wants This is on Netflix now."
Okay, so we're 8 episodes in. It is one of my favorite series of recent time.
Amazing, and I'm so upset that I didn't write it.
Yeah, it is.
That's my story.
And can I tell you, Jess and I, there's no conversion element, and I'm not a rabbi, but when we watch this show,
yes,
it is so reminiscent of our story,
right?
Where like I remember when Jess would like learn Yiddish words.
Yeah.
She'd like hear me or my family say them and she'd be like, what is that? And now what she does is, I think I may have told you this, anytime she has an opportunity to, she'll use a Yiddish word and then give me a look like, huh? Like she's like, oh, she was real mashugana. Huh? You know, and look at me and I'm like, honey, you don't need to shoot me that look. But she does almost that look like, you hear what I just said? You know, I'm like, yes, I heard it. I got it. I got it. Do you, almost like that old Seinfeld episode, do you now like do Jewish jokes and like get in with a shtick of it?
Yeah, I actually didn't even talk about converting while I was doing my stand-up. I think because I like respected it so much, and I was going every single Sunday with my husband. My husband would go to every single class with me, 3.5 hour long classes.
Was he a good Jew before that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes, in the sense of like his family wanted me to convert. He wanted me to convert. It was important
But
for
did
me
he
to
like go to
convert.
temple every week?
No.
Okay. Did he celebrate all the holidays?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And it was bad because one year I like got into some competition for stand up and it was Passover and I didn't know anything about Judaism. So I was like, "Oh, we're going to San Francisco this weekend." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, that's okay." And then it was not okay. He still came with me, but I didn't realize. And that's sort of when things started to shift.
Interesting. How long were you dating before he said to you, it's important to me to marry a Jew?
I don't even think you know what, maybe it was him, but it was his whole family and him being like, it would be nice. And me thinking, how are we going to raise our kids? And I went to an Episcopalian school. I went to like a Jesuit college. Like
Are you kidding me?
I never dated a Jewish guy in my life before.
I'm Jess's first Jewish guy too.
Yeah, but he was just so lovely. He's so lovely. Like I
feel like I would like him. I don't even know this man.
Yeah, you would like him.
Yeah, but so I like you, and I think I'd like him.
It's one of those things where he loves pickleball, but
that I wouldn't see eye to eye with him on just because I'm not sporty. But like otherwise, I like him.
He's amazing, and so it was not like worth it, but it was one of those things where it became a conversation, and then I started taking the classes, and I said I have to take the classes, and I have to tell you how I feel as it's going, and then I really loved it.
Oh, which I think is totally fine.
Yes.
I don't want to get into too much religious talk because I think we'll lose everybody that listens.
Everyone's gone.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is that similar to any religion, there are multiple interpretations that can be kind of adopted by someone who is choosing to indulge in that religion.
Totally.
To get much more specific, there are many theories that the 12 different tribes of Israel, that each one had a very different interpretation of the Torah. For better or worse, the same problem that happened with the Torah happened with the Bible, which is the strictest, most unpleasant versions have come down and become the prominent ones. The King James and the current Torah interpretations are often very blah. Whereas there are schools of thought that there is an interpretation of the Torah from one of the 12 tribes that was very different, that focused the Torah almost entirely on the ideas of love. Right? And so I often tell Jess, and this is funny, when Jess and I had our first date in Portland, this is a much longer story that I won't bore you with, but Jess and I met in a city neither of us lived in. And but we kind of like really liked each other. And for our first date, I said, I really want to take you out on a date. And she was like, I was like, would you ever want to come to LA? And she goes, you might be a serial killer. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And she's like, would you want to come to Houston? I was like, you could also be a serial killer. I'm not doing that. So I said, pick any city and I will meet you there. I don't care where it is.
It's like Sleepless in Seattle.
I love Sleepless in Seattle.
I love that movie.
But I was like, pick anyone. I'll go. And so anyway, she picked Portland and we went, and it was the greatest moment of my life. That being said, while we're sitting there, we had this amazing 3-hour conversation just sitting on these steps in the middle of the city, and religion came up. And I told her, I said, I am culturally Jewish. I am not religiously observant. There is a quote that I love by Kurt Vonnegut, which says, a purpose of human life, no matter who is controlling it, is to love whoever is around to be loved. And I said, there are elements of the Jewish religion that still really focus on that. Shabbat, as a great example, on Friday nights, you surround yourself with people that you love and separate the work week from the weekend. That, to me, is all about love. And so I say all that to say, I think there are interpretations of the Torah that you can still find these threads in a lot of these religious beliefs, and probably in other religions too, which is just focus on love. Just love people.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah, I'm great. But I will say, it's been interesting dating someone who doesn't understand my religion, and then like she'll question things, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't know why we do that either. It's kind of silly.
I feel like nobody wants this. Has like made it cool again.
Religion?
Just like talking about Judaism and like converting and all that stuff. Like maybe that's why I didn't talk about it. Also, just because it was so like private to me.
Sure.
Oh, that's not true. I had one joke that's on my Instagram.
where you just
Plugging that.
harangued all
Where
Jews everywhere.
I said, and this is true. Whenever I would go to the gynecologist, my husband would be like, "Oh, are you going to get a pap smear?"
No, he didn't. Jesus Christ.
He genuinely thought it was schmear.
It's actually an incredible joke.
Right? Yeah.
That's unbelievable. I think, yeah, I do think there are many jokes that could be made. You know what's interesting? I stay away a little bit from religious jokes as much.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're on the road sometimes, probably harder right now.
Yeah.
But like, when I'm on the road, I've noticed, like, I've said this in the pod before, and I will die on this hill. I cannot do well in Arizona. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I don't do well. Done it multiple times. I do not succeed in Arizona.
I did Scottsdale.
Okay.
And
I've done Scottsdale.
And it was fine.
Right. My best show in Arizona was fine.
Yeah, I never go being like, I crushed it.
No.
I
was doing a club just outside of Phoenix, and I was like, maybe I'll do better here.
Yeah.
And really, that was not true. But as a result of that, like, I don't necessarily focus as much on religious stuff because I do think that, like, not that I want all my comedy to be bulletproof everywhere. It's nice, but it's not going to happen. But religious stuff definitely is like, you are acknowledging this is not going to work in a lot of rooms.
Right. Yes.
And that's tough.
You have to change your like jokes with each city that you go to.
Yeah.
With each club that you go to.
Well, that's certainly true.
With each, like, even just venue. I just did a back outdoor show, which is a different vibe than when I do like an actual comedy club.
Oh, yeah.
Like in a club, you're like, oh, these people are here to laugh and they're here. And then when you do an outdoor show, people, it's like, oh no, this is a vibe. And we're like, we're just like outside. We're just like feeling the jokes. And it's just, and then when you go to a club and you're getting like genuine laughs, even just at basic things that you're saying, you're like, you almost appreciate it more.
For sure.
Yeah.
You want to hear a hot take? They call me Hot Take Lanzet for a reason. I don't love outdoor shows.
That is a hot take.
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
A few reasons. Number one, I don't care how old this makes me sound. I get cold easily. And
you know what's so funny? I get hot. I'm always hot.
I'm always cold.
So I love outdoor shows because I'm not schwitzing.
Nice.
Thank you.
I am always cold.
Interesting.
Yeah, always cold. My mom has a theory. She calls it cold tamales, hot tamales. And she says if you put someone in a room temperature room, if they're a hot tamale, they're always going to be hot. If you're a cold tamale, you're always going to be cold. And the world is divided. And a lot of times, in her theory, opposites find each other.
Interesting.
So you're hot everywhere. Is your husband run hot or does he run cold?
He's constantly covered in ice packs. He's like sleeps with ice packs.
Is that real?
He does. I bought him 2 ice rollers. He's constantly rolling his face. This is like a new
what
thing.
happens in your household?
He has like an acupressure mat that like he lays down on.
Wait a minute.
After
I have an
pickleball.
acupressure mat.
Do you? I hate. Is that a hot take for me? I hate them. They are like the bane. I step on them in the middle
I roll
of the
mine
night.
up as soon as I'm done. So
well, that's very respectful of
I'm
you.
a really great
He
husband.
flips it over.
No.
He flips it over, and then I trip on it, and he goes, "How did you trip on that?" I step on it. One time, one of the spikes got like underneath my toenail, and I bled a little. It was a very small amount. But
I've been told you need to bleed for your marriage. That's what I've been told.
It makes me angry, like viscerally angry every time I see the acupressure mat. And it's supposed to make you relaxed. It does the exact opposite.
For you?
For me.
Have you ever laid on it?
Yes.
And you don't like it?
No.
Okay. Vibes are not good for you.
I'm not into the stabbing thing.
Are you the kind of person though who likes a good spa day?
I love a good spa day, and I can relax. I'm also one of those
can
people.
you? I'm not getting that energy off of you right now. I'm just going to be honest with you. I can relax. Okay?
My husband is envious because I will watch Nobody Wants This all in one sitting. I'm a good binge watcher.
But is binging relaxing for you?
So relaxing.
Okay, it is. Okay.
I can sit and read a book for hours and like just do nothing. Whereas like my husband is like, he feels like he always has to be productive. No, I can do nothing. I love doing nothing. I love being alone. I love doing nothing.
I have a theory that every couple, one person always needs to be doing something and the other one loves doing nothing.
I love doing nothing.
I will sometimes come home and Jess will be cleaning the house. And I'll go, is someone coming over? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? What's happening? And she goes, and she'll be like, oh, I realized we hadn't wiped down the banister in a while. And I'm
okay, well, that's intense. I do love a clean house, though, because I feel my mind I'm a minimalist. Like, I throw everything away. Like, I don't like stuff.
I know. I remember I once gave you a card and then it was in the garbage that same day. And I thought that was weird. You go, I read it. I'm like, that's weird.
I throw birthday cards away immediately. I read it and then I throw them away.
Are you the kind of person who believes in greeting cards?
Like, are they necessary?
Let's say it's your birthday.
Yeah.
And someone's like, I'm going to get you a gift.
Yeah.
Do you give a shit if they give you a card?
No.
Neither do I.
I'd prefer to not have the card. I don't mind if they just write to from on the package.
I don't even need that. If they're sitting in front of me, I know exactly who it's from. If they're sitting, and if you're giving it to me, I have a feeling I know who it's to. You know what I mean? That's my energy. I don't
need it.
You know what I do on birthdays?
Yeah.
This is what I do. If I love you, which we're not there yet, but maybe one day. If I love you, I send you a text on your birthday that is actually a very thought. Like I will think, and I will write a text.
Yep.
Which is just like, I am so grateful to have you in my life.
Totally.
When I look at this and that, and I'll really talk to them, and I'll give it real thought. Like, I love this person. Why do I love this person? What do they mean to me? I will reflect on that. I will send them that message, and say like, "This is what you mean to me."
Yeah.
And on your birthday, I want you to know, even though you should know this every day, that this is how I feel about you.
Very thoughtful.
That I do it over text message. I'm not wasting trees and any of the other shit.
Smart.
Listen, you want a gift from me? I'll send you some cupcakes.
I was going to say, is that in lieu of a gift? Are you a gift giver? My husband...
It's not my love language.
Yeah, it's not... I don't think do men give gifts?
I like how we worked through what that sentence could look like. No men.
I'm like,
do men?
Just lost the male audience.
Yeah. Listen, we already lost most of our listeners on the religion. Now we're losing men in general. We have about 4 women listening right now. And they all hate men based on what you're saying.
Perfect.
Do men give gifts? I do. I get Jess gifts because I know she likes to receive gifts.
Right.
I love a gift, but my love languages, if we are going to choose to believe in that hoo-ha, my love languages are words of affirmation and acts of service.
How does she feel about that?
Doing them for me? Well, I'll say this. She must have missed the memo on words of affirmation because that seems to be not really hearing those. Okay. I have to be like, literally, I'll do something and I'll like look at her and she'll be like, do you need something? I'm like, just like tell me I'm grateful.
That is what men need. Okay. So I forgot my sunglasses I lost my sunglasses and my husband was like,
I have an extra pair. You want them?
I'm going to drive to the mall and I'm going to go find them for you. But I was like holding the baby and I had my toddler and he said something along the lines of like, what I just said to you, I felt like that was really heroic.
I love this man.
And I feel like you didn't appreciate the fact that I immediately was willing to drop everything to drive back to the mall to find your sunglasses for you. And first of all, I was like, no, that is amazing, but I'm holding the baby. The toddler is like running around. Like we're just trying to lock up the car. Also, I might have just left them in my car. And by the way, I had just left them in my car and I made sure to check that first before he did his heroic act. But that's what men need. They need like to be appreciated.
I kid you not.
Yes.
I think it was last night. Might have been 2 nights ago. I did a ton of shit.
Yes.
And Jess was like, oh, you did that. And I said, yeah. And then there's silence because that's what happens with her family. I look at her and I go, anything else you wanted to say? And she goes, I was like, is there anything, because I'm about to walk in the other room. Is there anything you wanted to add in this moment? After I just did all that. And she was like, oh, I really appreciate you doing that. I was like, oh, do you? Yeah. Oh, me? Stop. You're welcome. It was honestly not even a big deal. And then I walk, well, like, if I don't get that, right. Oh, no.
Yes, that would start a fight.
It wouldn't start a fight for us, but it would do this, okay? Let's say I don't get that.
Yeah.
Later, we're hanging out. And she'll be like, let's say I like hand her something, she'll be like, thank you. I'm like, oh, so now we are doing thank yous.
That sort of sounds like starting a fight.
We don't, I'm trying to think about the last time we like fought. I don't remember. But I do, being appreciated, I think is a big
Yeah, men need it.
Is that not for you? You don't need to be appreciated?
Yeah, I like the acknowledgement, but I feel like not as much as my husband. Like my husband really needs the like, thank you so much for doing this earlier today, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And like, I think to be seen, like he loves to be seen. Like, and I think gifts are not a big deal to him. I think growing up, his family was Jewish, so like they didn't have Christmas with the big holidays. With birthdays are not a big deal for him. Like. Yeah, but for me, I love like little trinkets. Like I love like a good like, this is a bad example because I'm Jewish now, but like an advent calendar, like with like each day you get like a little something on like leading up to Christmas.
You're Jewish now. You don't say like I'm Jewish. You go, I'm Jewish now.
But like I love like surprises. And then when we first started dating on Valentine's Day one year,
I'm kidding.
on Valentine's Day, there was like a Tiffany's box on a table.
If there's not a Tiffany's thing in this box, I'm going to fucking lose it. Go ahead.
And it was like an infinity bracelet.
Oh, it was a Tiffany thing. Okay.
And I was just like, I was overwhelmed with how like beautiful it was that he got me a gift without me asking, and he picked it out and it was there, and it was before we were married. But now that we're married.
No more gifts.
I don't think it would be, but that's not true. If I text him links like, oh, I love this, he's like, oh, let's get it.
Here's this is a hot take. Okay. Again, hot take Lanzet.
Okay.
Nickname I gave myself. Let's say I get Jess something.
Okay.
That she didn't tell me she wanted. Okay. And great.
Yeah.
Or let's say she tells me she wants something and I get it for her.
Okay.
I don't think it loses any of the shine and the fun if you tell me you want it. To me, it doesn't make it worse if you tell me. So that's why I always tell Jess, I go, hey, if you want me to do something, for example, let's say she wants me to empty the dishwasher. I go, it doesn't mean more if I somehow read your mind and empty the dishwasher. It means the same if you say, hey, honey, would you mind emptying the dishwasher? Yes. And I go, no problem. They're the same.
Yeah.
Do you disagree? I feel like you disagree.
I think that like when it comes to birthdays, my husband now is always like, what do you want for your birthday?
Yeah.
But it's so easy to buy me. I love everything because I never buy myself anything because I'm a huge minimalist. So like I don't get stuff.
Well, I'll tell you this. You've mentioned it twice in the pod. How minimal are you? You know what I mean?
But if he were just to get me anything, I would love it.
Is that really true?
100%.
Okay. So you know what? If I got you glass straws.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't see you doing that.
Because we have smoothies every day. So I'd be like, oh my God, I use
smoothies every day?
Every day.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Of smoothies?
Yeah, every day.
Okay. That's a lot.
And my husband was making them, and now I make them better, and he realizes that I make them better.
What is your family? My God. A lot of LA-based action going on over there. Smoothies and pickleball. Yeah. Do you find yourselves getting more unrelatable as you get older?
Do people not have smoothies every day? You don't have a NutriBullet?
I'll speak for myself and Jude and say no.
You know how expensive smoothies are too? Like the Erewhon smoothies.
Are you shopping at Erewhon?
I've never shopped there before.
And neither have I. And I was about to say, all of our listeners are going to jump off. It'll just be the two of us now.
Yeah. Because I would like to though try them, but I don't think I could ever spend $20 on a smoothie. Especially when I make them at home.
Could I? Sure. It would be on my deathbed because I would be like, this is the end for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? When you converted to Judaism, did you find yourself becoming stingier?
No, I always have been.
That was a total joke in case anyone's listening and getting offended.
I've always been like a saver and like I can survive on pennies. Like as a kid, I used to like bring a Jane Austen book with me and like run away from home. Did you ever run away from home? Like,
yeah, I ran away a couple times.
Yeah, why did we do that? I don't know why I did that. Like, and I would like pack up like some clothes and then bring a good book and like a blanket, and I would like stay outside and see how long I could stay outside for. Yeah,
I would. It was weird. We had this dresser that I would go into, and there was a world with like a half goat, half man, and it was
like
there was
Potter?
A lion. Did you say is this Harry Potter?
Like in the sense of like, were you like in an attic, like, you know?
I was just doing the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and you went Harry Potter.
But now you can see where I am. Yeah. All of our listeners, it's now negative.
So every listener is now. Can I tell you something? A listener got back on because they're like, this has gotten better. And then they heard that you misunderstood that. They actually jumped back off, got a friend to get on, and then get off.
By the way, I'm sweating because I'm so hot. Are you cold right now? Because I'm
so cold.
Schwitzing.
Okay, you know what? okay. I'm going to use this as an
Is there
opportunity
gonna be
to
a
jump
fan?
into our first segment.
Okay.
Are you ready for the Newly Friend game?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
ready.
The first segment is called the Newly Friend game. It's
Yep.
like the Newlywed game, but we are friends. I'm going to ask you, she's using it as a fan. For those listening at home, she's using it as a fan. Our one person came back on. They wanted to know if you were going to do that. My question for you, so you're going to write it down. Don't say it out loud. My question for you, just because you said schwitzing, I had a different question. We're going to stick with this one instead.
Okay. Is that loud enough for the microphone?
I was going to say, really get that marker cap off. We can't edit that out. Thanks, Kaela. All right, my question for you, and say it. Write it down. Don't say it out loud. Now that you have converted, what is your favorite Jewish food? 1, 2, 3. Flip. Oh no, I should have said that. You said latkes. I said babka. Have you had any babka?
No.
No?
No, I also love matzo ball soup, though.
So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm kicking your husband out of the religion. He hasn't given you babka. Do you make your own latkes?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love latkes.
Yeah.
The whole house smells like it by the time you're done.
I'm okay with that. It's like the holiday feeling.
Yeah. My sister has gone into, how would I put it? Designer latkes.
Oh.
Where like she now does like a sweet potato with
onion.
cinnamon.
Oh, wow.
Like that kind of, and I'm like,
Sweet potato.
yeah. And
Wow.
and I said very respectfully, I go, who do you think you are? You big dog and the big dog? You too good for a normal latke? Coming in here with that. What are you gonna do next? You're gonna shred a bunch of different vegetables in there?
It does take a long time to like peel the potatoes, I will say.
Peel them? Is that specifically just peeling them?
Yeah. Yes.
Not shredding them, but the peeling is what you don't like.
The peeling is like takes forever, and then the shredding takes a while. Like the grater I need a better one.
Can I make a suggestion on the grater?
Yes, please.
Okay. Have you ever put your grater, lay it flat?
Maybe not. Maybe
so
not.
Oftentimes
Maybe
we
not.
stand our graters up and then we go up and down.
And then I cut
if you
myself.
just lay it right, if you just lay it on its side, you can go back and forth. It's so much easier.
Why did I never think to do that?
Because you don't talk to me enough. I think that's why.
That's crazy.
All right, let's do this same question.
Wait,
we're
I'm
gonna do a slightly different question for me, and I'm
Okay.
about to make you get uncomfortable. What is your least favorite Jewish food that you've had? Flip your board on 3. We both said gefilte fish. Can I explain? Okay. So for those who are not Jewish, who are listening, thank you for listening. But for those, they're the 3 people left. But for those who are not listening, so it's weird. It's kind of like a weirdly.
I won't try
and
it.
that's the end of the game. You could put your board down, but you could use it as a fan if you
I feel like
want.
it passed. Is that weird?
No, you did great. We got 1 point.
Okay.
It's like weird fish.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's not gelatinous, but it's in a gelatinous sauce. I'm making this sound so
I've never
awful.
tried. Yeah, no one's gonna try it.
You've tried it though.
No.
You won't even try it.
Mm-mm.
So I'm going to say a phrase that Jess and I say to each other a lot at home. You think you're better than me?
You know what I've never tried before either is caviar. Never. Oh.
By the way, you can put your marker. You can move everything over there.
don't
You're
know.
good. Clear the space.
I'm
It's yours
schwitzing.
now. Are you really? You're really that hot?
Mm-hmm.
It is so funny. I'm very cold right now. You've never had caviar?
Never.
Have
you?
Well, being fancy like I am.
You have had it?
Yes, I have had. I mean, I don't like. I
Is
haven't
it like fantastic?
bought it myself. I like it a lot, but it's like salty. Do you like salt?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just doesn't seem like, I don't know.
Doesn't rock your boat.
No, and it doesn't look cute. And not that I need to eat
I don't
cute
concern
food.
myself with how cute my food looks. I'll be honest with
I
you.
just don't feel like, I just don't understand the appeal. It doesn't look appetizing.
Oh, I've never looked at a pizza and been like, you're cute.
But pizza looks appetizing. I don't look at caviar and go, that looks really good. Although I don't even think I've seen it in real life.
You know what I had recently that was like a very weird combination, but it was really good?
Yeah.
We're going to lose all our listeners on this one. I guarantee, because 4 more people have come back in.
Yeah.
But we're going to lose them again. I went to a restaurant and they serve you a dessert. It was like a prefix. They serve you a dessert. The dessert was homemade churned vanilla ice cream.
Oh my God.
With olive oil on top
Interesting.
and caviar.
Oh,
And I got to tell you something.
fantastic.
Dreamy.
Where was it?
Dreamy. It's a place called Pasta Bar in LA. It's
Interesting.
a little ritzy. It was not intentional that we went there. Jess made a reservation thinking it was like a place where you could choose different pastas.
What does caviar taste like?
Salt. So it's salty.
So why don't you just add salt?
Tastes better than that. It's better salt.
It tastes like fancy salt. It's like
But
that
that'd
Himalayan
be the equivalent of being
salt.
like, oh, you like something sweet, just why not add sugar? I'm like, no, I want chocolate syrup.
You know what dessert I love that I don't have enough of is baklava.
Interesting. Okay.
Love it.
I like baklava. You're
Love
going to go as far as saying you love baklava?
Like now that we're talking about desserts, I'm like, wow, I love it.
Okay, so hold on a second. How many months were you dating before you told your husband that you loved him? Because I feel like you're throwing love around pretty loosely if you love baklava. He
actually told me way too soon into us dating when we were like dancing one night, and he was like, I love you. And I was like, you've been drinking. But you know when you feel like you kind of have to say it back because you're like, this is a fun night. I don't want to ruin it.
Wait a minute. You say too early. How early is too early?
I think it was like 3 weeks in.
No. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. I'm telling you right now, if he had said, I love you, I'd be like, you know what I love? Not having this conversation 3 weeks in. Bye.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have married. I mean, I guess I didn't marry him, but you did. I don't know that I would have. Yeah. That would have literally, I would have texted all my friends and be like, so I don't know how everyone else is doing. This guy I've been dating for 3 weeks said he fucking loved me. And am I lovable? Sure. Not in 3 weeks.
I know. It was soon. But then I was like, you know, when you know, you just know. That's what they say, you know?
No. You know, when you know, you just know, you know? No. It took me, we started dating our first date was, I met her on July 4th. Our first official date was July 19th.
How did you meet her on July 4th? Oh, you actively chose to meet on that date?
No, we randomly met at a bar in a city we didn't live in.
Oh my God.
On the night of July 4th.
That's wild.
And neither of us pick up people in bars, so it was really a total accident.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've told this story in the pod before. I'll make it very fast. I walked into the bar and I saw this girl doing ridiculous dance moves to make her friends laugh. And she was like eating an egg roll and drinking a vodka Red Bull. And I was like, this girl looks hilarious. I was just going to go like tap her on her shoulder and be like, hey, great moves from one comic to another performer. Love what you're doing. And then just like go about my way. Went to go tap her on her shoulder. She didn't see me and accidentally booty dropped into my lap.
Stop.
Turns around and goes, oh my God, I am so sorry. If I buy you a drink, can we never talk about this again? And I was like, you can buy me a drink, but I think we should talk for at least 45 minutes.
That's so good. That's like the first like meet cute moment.
And yeah, well, you know, we're married now, so it all sorted itself out.
How far into, like, when did you propose?
4 years in.
My mom said that I had the longest engagement in the history of ever, that she was worried for me.
We talked about it. I was worried too. How long was your engagement?
A year and a half.
That's not that long.
Exactly.
There's a movie called The 5-Year Engagement.
My mom was very worried. She was like, are you sure he wants to marry you?
Your mom called me to talk about it. And I was like, don't worry. It's like completely fine. What's her name?
Tanya.
Great name. Right? Tanya.
Yes.
You know, you don't meet a lot of Tanyas.
Tania, because my grandmother's name was Tanya. And then my grandmother before that. And then my mom was like, Kaela.
Are you planning on having a Tanya? Do you have a Tanya? No. I don't know. Had to ask.
No.
You don't have a Tanya. What do you have? Names?
Sienna and Everly.
Phenomenal names.
Right?
I have to tell you, not that I don't like Everly. I do. Sienna,
I know.
Wonderful, beautiful.
Love that name. But it was...
Is Everly Leigh at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm realizing now that I feel a little guilty about that because when like school comes around and she has to like spell her entire name.
You know what I worry for her about? Scantrons. Do you remember those?
Yes.
You think she's going to fit that whole thing on there?
Yes, exactly.
I don't think so.
So maybe we just like abbreviate and say Eve.
Oh, that's cute.
You know what I mean? Like call her Eve.
Or she's just on a Scantron. She'll be
Or Evie. Just E. Remember you get points just for like spelling your name on the SATs?
I think I didn't get those points. I don't know. I have to check. I'm going to call them. Feel like I missed out.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, was it the SATs or you just get points? I don't know.
How do I get in touch with the SATs? Do they have a board? Be like, guys, did you give me my points?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think too much about that. I don't think about the SATs all that much. I got in trouble on the SATs.
Why?
I fell asleep.
How did you fall asleep? Well, did you just not sleep well the night before?
I'm not a good sleeper generally, but I'm a very fast test taker, and they don't let you go to the next section until everyone goes to the next section. So I was just napping until they would let me go. I did well, but like I don't, yeah.
That's crazy.
I get
Why don't
sleepy.
You sleep well?
Oh, are we? We're on the couch with
Are
Kaela.
you?
Mm-hmm. On the therapist. What keeps you up at night,
Because I hear there are people that don't sleep well, and my whole family, like we all sleep well. And if we don't
Tanya
get our
has
sleep,
told me multiple times.
If we don't get our sleep, we are cranky.
Okay, so this is a crass question,
okay.
And you do not have to answer it if you don't want to. But a question I love asking people.
Okay.
And fun fact, we talked about this at our wedding with Jess's family.
I like that you're prefacing this with like, other people have answered this question.
Listen, you don't have to answer this.
Okay.
If you don't, we're not going to speak again.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But I always ask people, if you had to rank in terms of importance to you, food, sex, and sleep.
Sleep.
How do you rank them? And I always tell people, anyone that's not ranking sleep at the one, don't understand you.
Sleep at the one.
Yeah, I'm sleep, sex, food. I think food is good. But to me, and let me be clear, sleep is up here. The other two are in the ether.
Interchangeable.
Nothing compares to sleep with me.
No. Because if you don't sleep, those I think all serial killers didn't get enough sleep.
All of them.
Like I think all of them, I bet you when they killed, they probably didn't get like a hard 8 hours the night before.
So just to be clear, anyone from the FBI who's listening, all behavioralists, any of that stuff, CIA, you're good. Yeah. Kaela solved it. You're just not sleeping enough.
How much has that person slept?
Yeah.
You know, people when they're like, I pulled an all-nighter, that's bad.
They're going to murder someone.
That is bad.
It's interesting. I heard that John Wayne Gacy, every time, he was just you know what? Didn't sleep tonight. I think I'm going to go murder some folks. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
A little sleepy time tea, he would have been fine.
Yeah, Son of Sam, true story. Always up.
If you had a good nap, a good night's sleep, I don't think you'd be in a bad mood.
At all. Not bad enough to kill.
Right, exactly. You'd be in an okay mood.
So let me ask you this. You nap a little, get woken up in the middle of your nap. Then you're serial killing.
If it's a nap, it's okay. If it's in the middle of the night, I mean, that's hard. Then you're moody.
So just to be clear, because I want to make sure I'm understanding this. If Jess wakes me up in the middle of the night, I have the permission to turn to her and say, if you keep doing this, I may go on a killing spree. That's what, that seems like it's fair.
I'm just saying multiple nights of not sleeping well. I think it has to be.
Okay, so then are we forgiving of those murderers?
I think that you'll see that your mood changes. Like if you're like, I haven't slept in days. That's when you're like, that's not good.
I'll tell you this, I don't sleep well. I'm on prescription sleep meds.
See, we are getting deep.
We are. Is this too deep?
Is that trazodone?
How did you know that?
I know a lot of people and I know a lot about sleep.
What was that voice? I know a lot of people. I know some things. It's weird. There was a creepiness and comfort in that I found both. And I liked it.
Yes.
But you're not on it. You sleep like a queen.
I sleep very easily.
So you're not killing anyone.
I used to sleep to the point where I didn't need a fan and I didn't need any noise whatsoever. I turn off the lights, pitch black. I can go to bed with no noise, no TV, no nothing. Then I met my husband and he has to sleep with noise. He needs at least a fan on.
White noise.
So white noise. But I had to get used to that because I like just pitch black nothingness, silence.
You're familiar with the show Three's Company?
Yes.
So I just listen to part of that on a loop. To go to sleep, I just hear
a lot
it's
of people.
his and hers, Three's Company too, and then it just repeats itself over and over again.
A lot of people fall asleep to Friends. I can now because of him. He listens to fantasy football, so I learned to fall asleep to fantasy football podcasts.
Just to be clear, I don't watch the show. I just listen to the theme song. But I hear what you're saying. No, I cannot listen to noise.
Interesting. Well, my husband falls asleep on the couch a lot because he needs the TV on and he's listening and he has his acupressure mat. And then the baby's up every 2 to 3 hours right now because of feeding her.
Well, I figured. I didn't think it was waking up to look at the stocks, you know? My portfolio is shit, Mom!
My husband needs a full 8 hours. He needs uninterrupted sleep.
Well, how else is he going to be good at his
sleeps on the couch
pickleball?
And he loves it and I love it too. I kind of like having my bed alone, but then, some nights he comes to bed and I'm like, oh, this is a treat.
Is it a treat though? We don't want it.
That's the thing is I am very okay with him not being there too.
Yeah, me too. Every time he leaves, I go, thank God. I don't like sharing a bed. That's my biggest fear with having kids outside of the whole raising a kid thing is that I'm not going to have my sleep. And it's deeply concerning on 18 different levels.
Yeah, you won't for the first couple months.
But here's the thing. What if that turns me into a serial killer? Do you know what I mean? Can I tell you here's my thing. This is not the right thing to say into a recording that will live in infamy. The reason I could never be a serial killer, not a big fan of all the blood and the guts. Not into it. Love a good gory movie. Don't want it in person.
I hate the word blood so much to the point where I actually have a fainting problem called vasovagal that I inherited from my dad.
Vasovagal syncope?
Yes, that's
syncope?
Yes, I have that. So it's like what happens is you start thinking about something that makes you too anxious, and then you like completely
activates your vagus nerve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
I had to kind of get over it because I got pregnant and I had to get my blood taken all the time. But even like saying that, I'm like, oh, I could pass out on this couch.
Here's what's interesting. My fear is not of blood. It's when I go get something, my blood taken. It's the needles. Don't love needles. Don't love it.
I'm okay with shots.
Who are you? Now you sound like a serial killer.
I'm okay with.
Have you gotten sleep recently?
I do start like sweating and like I get like a little nervy, but like the blood one, I actually pass out. And sometimes like I'll wake up and the nurses like have transferred me into another room.
You serious?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Mm-hmm. It happened a few times, but
not a few times.
But now during my pregnancy, the nurses like knew exactly what to do. So like I lay down and then my husband would play Beach Boys. Bermuda, Jamaica, that song. And then he'd ask me a lot of questions that would frustrate me because like that would get my focus elsewhere. And then I could do it.
I will tell you one thing, and then we do have to get in the lightning round, but this was just the craziest thing I ever experienced.
Yeah.
I was at a panel.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of people, chatting it up.
Yeah.
After the panel, the panel was at Netflix. After the panel, a gentleman faints and like has like a thing, falls to the ground. A bunch of people come, and he's having a seizure.
Stop.
And a bunch of people come, and you know how like when someone's doing that, once it stopped, people like you're trying to make sure the person's okay, like you're asking them questions, right?
Yeah.
And you would typically ask, "Do you know what your name is? Do you know where you are?" Do you want to know what this person asks? This person who's maybe like fresh out of school looks down at this man who is disoriented and goes, okay, sir, what is your favorite Netflix show? And I'm just like, I'm sorry. What if he didn't watch Netflix? What if the man had a Max subscription? You're yelling at this man, what's your Netflix show? And he's like, he's disoriented. He can't name anything. We were expecting him to say 3 body problem. He didn't say it. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you?
My God.
They didn't ask, do you know your name? Favorite Netflix show.
What good promotion, though. He like comes to and he's like, Love is Blind.
Yeah. Yeah. He finally comes back and he's like, Bob's Burger. Oh, that's Hulu. Let me try that again. Let me try it again. You know what? It's Selling Sunset.
Yes.
Absolute psychotic. I will never get over it.
That is so funny.
I cannot. I think about it. Can I tell you something? That I think about twice a day.
I almost feel like that was like a planted person though, because you're at a Netflix panel.
I think that this was someone who was probably fresh out of school, who had seen in movies and television that you ask a question.
Normally, isn't it like who's our current president?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that is a very popular one.
Yes.
Or you could say like name a Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah.
But then they might just be just as disoriented. That's what I'm here for. All right, are you ready for the final segment?
Yes.
The final segment is called the lightning round. It's 5 fast questions. They do not at all have to be fast answers. They're just the last 5 questions we end every episode with.
Okay.
And I keep this on an index card because this is as close as I'm going to get to being a late night talk show host.
That's not true. You don't know that.
Well, that's true. I am straight white male. My name starts with a J.
I could totally see it.
Put me in, baby.
I could see it.
Listen, we'll be in, and then you're going to be the person who sits on the couch every episode with me, and you'll just jump in.
I'm Guillermo.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say you're more like Andy Richter, but Guillermo is fine.
Okay,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sit on the couch, and then you just jump in with things like blood makes me queasy. Go on. Okay, here we go. Question 1. What is a favorite ritual of yours? So, for example, I love brewing tea. That makes me very happy.
Oh, I love my morning coffee.
Okay. What are we talking? French press? Where are we
I
at?
have a Keurig.
Nice.
My Starbucks house blend with the Khalifa creamer, vanilla creamer.
Yes. Okay.
So good. And especially because when I was pregnant, I was like craving, I couldn't have regular coffee. I had to have like decaf. And so I would spend like $25 a day on coffee bean. It was a really bad time.
You know what I love about coffee bean?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
I want you to finish.
No, tell me.
I was just saying, why don't we all talk about they put Sonic Ice in there for the ice drinks? Phenomenal.
The thing is, I was craving iced decaf vanilla coffee. And so I needed to have it every morning from Coffee Bean because I was really nauseous in the beginning when I was pregnant. So it's like I couldn't brew my own. And so it was like a morning ritual. I would drive to Coffee Bean every morning.
Love that whole thing. You got vanilla in there? Mm-hmm. Love a good vanilla latte. Mm.
Vanilla iced coffee.
Okay, vanilla iced coffee.
So good, but it tastes like a latte.
How do you feel about Dunkin' Donuts? They do a good
Love
vanilla
it.
coffee. Yeah.
When I was in New York, I would get it every morning.
Do you still live in New York?
Yeah, for like 3 years I lived in New York.
You can call me. I'm from New York. That's interesting. Question 2. What is a running bit you have with a friend or partner that makes you laugh?
My husband has a lot of dad jokes.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's like a running bit, but like that is like his thing. Like,
but are you involved? Do you do some dad jokes?
I just know that they're coming. So I'm like, oh, it's coming now. Like I just know they're coming down the pipeline. It's like he has to make every person laugh. And even if, oh my God, no, actually, no, but it's his running bit. Okay, you ready?
This is born ready. Slightly premature, but I'm here for it.
I have 2 kids, and both of them have blonde hair, and I have brown hair. My husband has brown hair as well. So every single time, my husband's like, "It must be the Amazon delivery guy." You're laughing.
I think that's funny.
I know you do.
Oh, I mean, I don't. I don't. You know what?
It's such a running bit. He does it every single time. And then I have 2 girls, and so now the running bit is like, yeah, we're gonna go for our third. It's gonna be a boy, but we know it's gonna be a girl. Yeah, I can't do it.
Do you? This might be the most inappropriate question in the world. Are you considering?
Never.
Okay.
No.
I am. So
you couldn't pay me.
Here's my.
you could pay me.
Could I? Okay. How much? Because I'll tell you what. I just came into a little bit of money. I got a $20 gift card and to Olive Garden, and so I would like a girl. No. Here's my feeling. Mm-hmm. I call it the roller coaster problem.
Okay.
Okay. If you have 2 kids,
yes,
1 parent, 1 kid in car number 1, 1 parent, 1 kid car number 2. You have 3 kids,
right?
What are you doing? What's the game plan?
Right. I was the 3rd kid. I was an oops kid.
You were an oops kid. I was a mistake baby too.
Yeah, but
Fun.
like I'm like my parents' favorite because like I'm the girl. I have 2 older brothers.
Because I also thought I was your parents' favorite. That's weird. That's weird. All right. Question 3.
Okay.
What is a very controversial opinion that you have?
I hate Halloween.
Hate Halloween. Okay. Do we hate Halloween movies? Do we hate Halloween decorations?
Every aspect of it. Actually, anything. I'm saying it out loud, and like this is coming out before Halloween. Like I really do feel like it's controversial because people love.
Should we drop this on Halloween Day?
Yeah, right. Like I hate skeletons. I hate like spiders. Like I saw 2 spiders in my place a month ago, and I still think about it. And I sometimes think about moving. I think I don't want to move. I get flustered. Clearly,
we had 2 gigantic spiders.
No, I can't.
Okay, no,
I can't.
No, not inside. Outside.
Oh, okay.
And can I tell you something? Jude, our faithful podcast producer, I will say
murdered them.
Dispatched one of them.
Right.
I'll say that.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to be mean.
I just hate everything about Halloween. I hate spider webs. I hate ghosts.
What about candy?
I do love Casper. I love candy. Not candy corn, though. That's like, I feel like that's the staple.
You don't like candy corn?
Do you like candy corn?
Hot take.
I don't think I've ever met someone who liked candy corn.
Big fan of candy corn.
Wow.
Yeah, big fan.
That is a hot take.
Scorching? No, just Luke.
No, I would say scorching.
Scorching.
If you have listeners, if anyone writes you and says like, I love candy corn, I would be shocked.
Quick side question on this, and then I'll get to the rest of them. Favorite candy bar?
So I used to be so obsessed with Butterfinger to the point where I ate
no one lay a finger on it.
I ate 2 large king-size Butterfingers in one sitting, and I haven't had Butterfinger since because it was really bad.
One time I had an entire pint of Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake ice cream, and if you ever want to feel sick...
Yes, never again.
I was on the floor.
I did that with
fetal position.
I did that with yogurt pretzels once, and I'm like, I can't. I would never. Can never do it again.
Oh, you know what? Give me a yogurt pretzel. I'm a fan for life.
I can't.
You know what I mean?
I had an entire bag, and I just can. Nope, never again.
All right. Question 4: have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? And if so, is there a particular moment that really sticks with you?
I mean, every day of my life.
Being a mom.
Yeah. No. Of course. Imposter syndrome, okay, not to go back to religion, but when I just started doing stand-up, I got into a competition and I performed in front of 300 people at a Jewish community center.
Oh, boy.
And I knew nothing about Judaism. I had just gotten with my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband.
Yeah, I heard he said he loved you after 3 weeks.
And I got out there in front of the crowd and I was like, anyone here on Instagram? And everyone was like over the age of 75. No joke. Like everyone was older. It was not my crowd. And I felt true imposter syndrome.
I'm an instant grandma. What are you saying? Yeah.
That would have done so well.
Yeah, can I tell you? I kill with older Jewish people.
That I'm sure.
And by that, I just mean I do with old enough Jewish crowds that some of them pass away. Yeah, they pass away. Yeah. Which is fine.
I took that joke moment from you because I knew
You knew. I exclusively do stand up in Boca Raton and Delray, Florida, and you just, I mean, the challenging thing, you never have repeats. No. You know what I mean? They're all just the turnovers fast there.
Yeah.
All right. Question 5, final question. Okay. What is your favorite tea? And if you're not a big tea drinker, what is your favorite comfort?
I love English breakfast tea.
Oh, me too.
Love it.
That's a great answer.
I went to a place, the Ye King's.
Ye Old King's Head?
Yes. Okay. For my birthday.
The fact that I even pulled that out when you were just not even a quarter of the way there.
I was like the Ye Old.
It was Ye.
I sounded drunk. I was like the Yees.
I spiked our teas. Yeah. We're both just drinking straight vodka.
I went there for my birthday when I was 8 months pregnant. And it was delightful because they have like for $35, you get like an entire tea platter and then a pot of tea.
I love that. I didn't know that.
Amazing.
I go there to play darts. I didn't know that there's good tea there.
You have to do their tea thing.
Their tea thing. Yeah. Are you in marketing?
What is it?
You got to do
called?
their tea thing.
Like their afternoon tea. That's what it's called.
Yes. I love an afternoon tea.
It's delightful.
It's weird. I didn't get an invite to that.
I was going to do the Peninsula Beverly Hills.
Jesus.
$125 per person.
I'm going to go ahead and say no. Can you split it? We'll each have half a pot of tea and we'll have half a sandwich.
Can you believe that?
Oh, I could. Can I believe it? Head. Sure. Can I do it? No.
35. You have no idea like how much. I was full the entire day.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Hot damn.
It was delightful. And we all dressed up. There's 3 of us.
All 3 of you dressed up?
Yes. I got
classic.
like little hat things off of Amazon. Super cute. Yeah.
That's the pod. How do you feel?
That was so fun.
Wasn't that the best time you've ever had?
I hope I don't get canceled.
Listen, you know what? If we can help it. Well, here's the thing. We actually lost all the listeners by the end of it. So I think you're fine.
Right.
Thank you. Come back anytime.
Thank you so much.
Of course. That was Kaela Crawford. You can find her on Instagram and TikTok at Kaela Crawford. This episode was produced by Jude Crowner. It was edited by Martin Alvarez. Our theme song and additional music are by Oliver Hymack. Our cover art was done by Neil Fraser with photography by Matt Mazisco. Social media by Dia Villegas. Please write a review and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you can. You can send any questions, comments, newly friend game suggestions, or tea suggestions to steepcombos@gmail.com or tweet us at steepcombos. I'm Josh Lanzet, and you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Josh Lanzet. We'll be back next week, so until then, happy steeping.
But now with like Nobody Wants This, I feel like it's really opened the conversation up.
I agree.
That's what I'll say about religion.
Oh, okay. You don't want to say anything else? We don't have to.
No.
You're like, we've already lost the listeners. It's fine.